Do these things the moment you move to a new country. I do not care what country you are, whether the UK, Canada, US, Australia. These are the things I wish I knew when I moved to the UK or even when I moved to Dubai as an immigrant living abroad with zero knowledge, and there was no much social media at the time. So I didn't have much guidance. I'm just sharing these as an advice. These are the things I did, and I wish somebody had told me. The first thing would be to make sure your documents are in place. One tip I will give you is scan your documents. You're leaving your country of origin, you're leaving the country that you reside with all your original documents. That means you're putting all your life into a box or into a few boxes. What if that bag goes missing? What if the airline tells you story that blah 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 blah? Have a scanned copy of all your original documents, especially the important ones, your certificate, your marriage certificate, your declaration of age. Those important documents, have them scanned. Scan them and send them to your email or to the email of somebody else that is trusted. I am in my money saving era. That is why I use LemFi, formerly known as Lemonade Finance, to send money to Nigeria. And if you live in the UK, Canada, the USA, you can also use LemFi to transfer money to countries like Uganda, Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, Tanzania, and so many other African countries. One of the things that makes LemFi stand out is that you get to transfer your money at the best exchange rates, no hidden charges, zero transfer charges. That means if you send £10, the person you're sending £10 to gets the equivalent of £10. You're not going to get charged for anything. It is quick, no minimum transfer. That means you can send as low as you want. The person gets the money quickly and at a very good rate. Download the app. Remember to use LemFi. Also remember to add my referral code Gloria Otico. The best part of it is once you download and you register, for your first £100 and above, you get £10 cashback. Please remember to use my referral code Gloria Otico, or capital letter Gloria Otico with no space. And during your registration, if you forget to use Gloria Otico, there is a space on the right hand side of your app. Once you click referral, it asks you, did somebody refer you? Kindly input Gloria Otico if you've forgotten to use Gloria Otico during your registration. Thank you, LemFi, for sponsoring this video. Another thing you want to keep an eye on is the accommodation where you're going. I've seen people who have very high hopes, high expectations. I've seen so many families come into the UK. I was like that before I came. I thought once I come to the UK, after 2 weeks, after a month maximum, I was going to find accommodation. Look at me. 6 weeks later, 10 weeks later, I was still stuck between hotels, B&B, and getting stranded because nobody at the time was ready to give me their house. And if you've lived in the UK, you understand that it doesn't even matter how long you've been here. It is almost one of the hard things to get once you move to the UK. It's not about having an agent and knowing somebody like you do back home. Your accommodation is going to be hard. So having a plan, you're coming to stay with somebody. What is the plan? How long are you going to be staying with the person? What do you think will happen if you don't get your accommodation the first month? Are you going to be able to have enough money to sustain you, to continue to rent that B&B, to continue to stay in that hotel? You need to have a backup plan if you don't get your accommodation on time, and be also ready to be flexible. Start staying in hotels. I stayed in B&Bs and then a house shared. You feel like, oh God, a homie, my standard, as big as I am. You may have that thinking once you move to a country, but be ready to start humble. I started in a room where it's a 5-bedroom house. We were few other people, had the other nurse and few other people, students, sharing the whole house with the landlady. That one is another story for another day. And I started in that one room before I eventually got my own house, my 3-bedroom house, where I then brought my family in. So you want to know how you're going to start small. If you're coming with children, you're coming with your wife, you're coming with your husband, you have nobody in that country that you're going, you have to plan to your accommodation. Banking and finance. Make sure it is very important to open an account. You don't need to have any money. You don't need to have £10, £5, £0. most bank in the UK will open an account for you without you having anything. This is also very important if eventually you decide you want to get mortgage, get a car on finance, it's going to go towards your credit score. You want to open a bank account for your salary. I think bank accounts in the UK is almost very important. It's very important, extremely important. Open a bank account as soon as possible. Another thing you want to remember to do is to register to vote. Especially, I'm speaking for the UK. Register to vote because it will count towards your credit score. I don't know why, but it does. Register to vote anywhere you are. It doesn't matter if you're going to vote or not. They will send you ballot papers, whatever. But please register to vote as soon as possible. Once you find a house, please register to vote. Finding school for your children is also very important. The moment you find a place that you're going to be staying, look around. You want to make sure you're looking for a house close to, places like schools. If you've got young children, especially, you want to make sure that the school is good, up to your standard. I know initially it's a bit of, do you have a choice? But once you have a choice, make sure you're aiming to getting accommodation or your house is close to places that you know that schools are good, that they meet the standard of, what you want or where you want your children to go. Because it's not all the school in the UK, to be sincere. People don't talk about this very much. It is not all the school in the UK that you want to put your child. There's some schools that you put your child, and healthcare. I know we are from a background where we actually take pride in saying, oh, I've not been to the hospital for 1 year. We take pride in saying, oh, my children don't ever fall sick. I don't ever go to the hospital. Relax, relax. I totally understand. But it is very important to register your child at the GP. There's a GP that will be allocated within your catchment area. Register there. The moment you enter the country, you found a permanent accommodation. Go around, search, look for the GP practice that is allocated to your zone, to your community, to your council. Walk in there, register. The only thing they will ask you is, I don't know, sometimes they will ask you for your BRP or just something to show. And usually, I think they ask for your bills, like your council tax, just something to show your address. Please register your children, register yourself. You're paying immigration health surcharge for a student. If you're working, you're paying health insurance. Even though you're not paying directly through your tax, you're paying one way or the other for your health. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to assess, even if it is headache, even if it is just maintenance. I call it MOT of the body. Carry yourself to that clinic and go and say, see, please do my blood, check my blood pressure. I want to check myself. Register as soon as possible, because sometimes I've heard that some places they are waiting lists, especially in Canada. It is extremely difficult to get a doctor. What if, God forbid, you become unwell tomorrow? You need to have that doctor. And one thing I also tell you is, if you're calling your doctor for something and they've refused or they're saying, oh, don't worry, it's nothing serious, go to A&E. I'm not saying you should bombard A&E, but I'm saying go. If you are worried, go. I know what I'm saying is, I've seen so many situations where people just said, okay, and things went bad. When it comes to employment as a new immigrant, it may be a little bit of a challenge for you to actually fit in to the right job. I know I came with a job already. I had a job before I even left Dubai, and so many people came on a work visa. But if you did not come on a work visa, you having to, especially if you're independent or you're having to look for a job once you get into that country, it may be difficult for you to, get a job that is up to your standard. Be ready to start low, but don't start in a way where it will destroy your CV. Start jobs that will expose you to the labor market. The one thing I've noticed in westernized world is the moment you have that country work experience, 6 months, 1 year, the next jobs you're going to be applying for will become a bit easier. I'm not saying to be easy, but I'm saying to be easier. That means it will still be difficult, but and if it needs you to level up, study more, go for courses, find out. Do not limit yourself. Take advantage of every opportunity. Have a second plan. Don't just remain where you are. You're getting salary, they're paying you so amount of money, and you're fine, and you're sitting down there. In fact, leverage. Nobody will call you, say, come and study. No, you have to ask questions. Push yourself. You know where you're coming from. And you know that failure is not an option for us. We are always at the top. We always achieve. So take advantage of the system that works and work on yourself, improve yourself so that you can put yourself. I always say this, I've always said it. Let opportunity meet preparation. You've got those courses so that one day job is open, you've got the certificate to present. Show integration. You want to integrate yourself into a small community. Don't just be an island. Like I say, I don't have a friend. I always say this. I don't have friends, but at least I have somebody that if they don't see me in church for 1 week, they don't see me for 2 days, 3 days, they'll come and ask for me. I'm like, what's going on? Are you okay? Look for a small community. I'm not saying you should have friends, but I'm saying look for a small community that can support you, that can be there for you. That will call you if something happens. I'm not saying evil things will happen, even for the good things, that will be able to direct you, be able to tell you where to get this, where to get that. Join WhatsApp groups, join online groups, join small community of people that have like mind as you, that can help you in that community. Okay, stay informed. Don't just say because you're already in that country, it doesn't concern me. Especially the UK. The UK law changes every month. I'm exaggerating, but you know what I mean. The UK law changes like you changing wrapper. Stay up to date. Don't just come and go and sit down. See, like that time that they were doing, and you're allowed to work 20 hours because of COVID. When COVID stopped and they stopped that thing, some people were not informed. They didn't know that they were no longer allowed to work more than 20 hours over their normal work. They continued, and that can affect your ILR. So you want to stay informed. Don't just say, I'm in the country now, it's not my business. It is the JJC. You want to stay informed. You want to know when the law changes, okay? The final tip I'm going to give you is to learn to adapt. Learn to unlearn, learn to learn, okay? Unlearn some things. I'm not saying you should throw away your culture. I'm not saying you should throw away your story. I'm not saying you should throw away your background. But please learn and unlearn, because you will learn. You will learn. Learn the culture, learn the language, learn the system, learn things, learn and learn and learn, and be open to adjustment, be open to education, be open to information. But while you're at it, don't forget the son and daughter of whom you are. Thanks so much for watching this video. I'll see you in my next video. Please remember to like, subscribe, share my video. Share my video. I remain your humble girl, Gloria Otikel, your baby girl of life. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in another video. Bye.